Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. Nique ends up telling her mom that she's been taking a step back from everyone because of what went down at Ashley and Nicke's event. She ends up telling her mother that she wants to give Mulan the benefit of the doubt, but after Mehgan said that Mulan told Danielle her business and Danielle ended up confirming it, she doesn't know how to feel about her friendship with Mulan. And listen, I do not blame Nique for feeling like she needs to reevaluate her friendships because it's hard not to believe that Mulan was telling her business since Danielle repeated something that only Mulan knew about. I mean, I do think that Nique and Mulan need to talk, but I have to side-eye Danielle a little bit too. Because if Mulan was telling Nique's business to her and she felt like it was wrong, why did she wait until she had a problem with Mulan to say something? It takes two people to engage in a conversation, and clearly Danielle did not have an issue with what Mulan was saying when she was engaging in the conversation with her. Now, Mehgan does end up meeting up with Nique in this episode after she blindsided her in the previous episode by having her ex on her podcast. And Nique does end up telling Mehgan that she felt like she was being messy because she felt like Mehgan invited her ex on the podcast on purpose. And the fact that she didn't tell her that her ex was coming is the reason why she had a problem with it. Now, even though Mehgan does end up apologizing to Nique and claiming that she did not have ill intentions, I don't believe her. I know that she had ill intentions for doing it because why invite him on the podcast if you knew that Nique was going to be there? She did this on purpose because they ended up showing a clip where Nique had opened up to Mehgan earlier in the episode about her relationship with Four, and that's the reason why Mehgan decided to invite him on the podcast. She didn't tell Nique about it purposely because she knew that if Nique knew that he was going to be there, she probably wouldn't have agreed to come, and so she didn't tell her about it. She did that on purpose, and I don't understand why she's lying and saying that she didn't. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of shocked at how quickly Nique was able to forgive Mehgan because she wasn't the same way when it came to Mulan. Now, I understand that she has more of a friendship with Mehgan than she had with Mulan, but I don't really feel like Mulan did anything to Nique for her not to like her. I mean, Nique went a lot harder on Mulan than she went on Mehgan, and to me, what Mehgan did was a lot worse than anything that she thinks that Mulan did to her. And Mehgan is super messy because now she's trying to turn everything around on Ashley because she feels some type of way about Ashley mumbling things at her podcast, and she ends up telling this to Nique. But I don't feel like Ashley said anything wrong. She was saying what everybody else was thinking. All she said was that Mehgan was wrong for inviting Nique to an event that she knew her ex was going to be at. And it was embarrassing because some of the stuff that he was saying on stage, it probably made Nique feel uncomfortable. And so everybody thought that it was wrong that Mehgan invited Nique to the podcast without telling her that her ex was going to be there. To me, Ashley was just defending Nique because Nique was just sitting there not saying anything. But when Mehgan was saying all this stuff about Ashley, Nique just sat there and shook her head. And to me, she should have defended Ashley because Ashley was defending her. Now, in this episode, Morgan ends up telling her sister that she feels like Ashley is the one that leaked her address to her ex-husband, and that's the reason why he was able to serve her with papers. Now, I don't know if Ashley is the one that did it. I know that Ashley said that she wasn't the one that did it, and so I'm going to take her word for it because, honestly, Morgan's ex-husband could have found out where she lived from anybody. Like, she's obviously there filming a show. I'm pretty sure he knew that she was out there filming a show, so I don't know why she's surprised that he was able to find out where she was. There's numerous ways that he could have found out. Now, if Ashley did do it, that's wrong and that's messy, but for right now, she said she didn't, so I just have to take her word. I honestly do have a lot of sympathy for Morgan, though, because you can tell that she's going through a lot. Like, you can see it all over her face all the time. She says that she's been raising her children by herself without the help of their father, and then on top of that, he just served her with papers. And she's upset because she feels like her children are going to experience the same thing that she did as a child. She said that her father wasn't around when she was a kid, and now she feels like her children are going through the same thing. And so I can see why that would hurt her. I know that people do not like when you tell them that they need to go to therapy, but I honestly do feel like therapy works for some people, and I feel like it would really do wonders for her because I do feel like she's holding a lot inside, and I feel like she doesn't really trust people that much. So I honestly feel like going to somebody like a therapist who's unbiased and who doesn't know you, I feel like that would be a good option for her. So because Ashley's husband is having an event, she ended up inviting Mulan and Mackenzie to come help out. Now, she did say that one of the coaches said Danielle's name as somebody who could come help too, but she was skeptical about inviting her because obviously Danielle doesn't get along with Mulan and Mackenzie. But Ashley ends up deciding to meet with Danielle anyway to ask her to come help out at the event. Now, Danielle did play basketball in college, so I get why she was asked to come, but Danielle was skeptical about going because obviously she's not friends with Ashley and she doesn't get along with Mulan and Mackenzie. Now, I do feel like Ashley was being a little bit messy by inviting Danielle to an event that she knows Mackenzie and Mulan are going to be at, but Danielle did agree to come because the event is for children on the autism spectrum, and I mean, I do agree because the event is a lot bigger than the drama that they have with each other. Now, Megan and Nique end up meeting up for lunch with Lindsay in this episode, and Lindsay is telling them how excited she is to find out the gender of her baby. Now, this whole conversation really had Megan thinking a lot about when she's going to have a baby herself. She did say that she wants to have a baby before she turns 35, so she does feel like the clock is ticking. And I feel like the way that Megan is feeling is really relatable to a lot of other women because we do feel a lot of pressure to have a baby by a certain age. And so I can understand why she's feeling the way she's feeling. Now, it's the day of Lindsay's gender reveal, and a lot of the girls came to support her, and I'm glad that she was happy during the gender reveal, and I'm glad that her husband was also showing excitement this time, because the last time we saw him, he didn't seem to really care about the baby coming, and then on top of that, he was very dismissive of her feelings, so I'm glad that he wasn't acting like that in this episode. I thought that it was really cute that Lindsay and her husband had the Ferris wheel light up for them to find out the gender of their baby, and it lit up pink, which means that they're having a girl, and both of them were really excited about it because they both wanted a girl anyway. Now, it's the day of Ashley's event, and she does end up pulling Mackenzie to the side and letting her know that Danielle will be coming. And Mackenzie didn't seem to mind that Danielle was going to be there. And I actually really do like Mackenzie because I feel like she handles things really well. Like, she handles things in a really mature way. Now, I don't know if she's always like that or if she's always been that way, but from what I've seen on the show, I actually really do like her. Now, Ashley also ends up pulling Mulan to the side and letting her know that Danielle will be there too, and she didn't seem to mind it either. Now, I know that Mulan probably really didn't want to be around Danielle, but I'm glad that she was able to put her differences with Danielle to the side for a greater cause. And even though Danielle was really skeptical about going, she did show up. She did a good job. She didn't get into it with anybody, and I think that that was really mature of her. So I do think that Mulan, Mackenzie, and Danielle did a really good job. Now, Megan has a bone to pick with her boyfriend in this episode because he's the reason why she went to meet up with her mother to try to work things out. And when things didn't go well, she got really emotional. And so she ends up meeting with her boyfriend in this episode, and she tells him that things did not go well when she met with her mom, and that if he doesn't want to be with her and doesn't want to have a family with her because she's not close with her family, then he needs to end things with her. And I agree with Megan on this because at the end of the day, everybody is not close with their family. And just because he has a really close relationship with his family doesn't mean that Megan has the same thing with her family. Everybody is not the same. And so I don't think that it's right that, he told her that he didn't want to have a family with her unless she worked things out with her family. She needs to put her peace of mind first. So sometimes she needs to just leave people in the past that are not good for her. And so if her mom is one of those people, then she just has to cut her off. So Nique and Mulan end up meeting up in this episode to talk about their friendship because of everything that went down a few episodes ago. Nique is really upset at the fact that she heard from everybody else that Mulan has been telling her business to everybody and has been talking about her. And I can understand why Nique would be upset about that because out of all the girls in the group, she's been the closest with Mulan. So hearing that she's going around behind your back telling your business is really hurtful. And when Nique expresses this to Mulan, she gets really emotional because Mulan feels like everybody is purposely trying to ruin their friendship, and she said that she hasn't talked bad about Nique behind her back. I do feel like Mulan probably did tell some of Nique's business to some of the girls, maybe just Danielle, and then Danielle went back and told everybody else. So I do feel like she said some things, but I do feel like the other girls are over-exaggerating it too because they want to ruin their friendship. I mean, it's not far-fetched, especially when it comes to Megan, because she did do this same thing on the Bad Girls Club, so you can't be surprised if Megan is trying to break up friendships with people. But I do feel like Mulan needs to take accountability because she did go back and tell some things that Nique told her, because why did Danielle know about it? So I do feel like Mulan does need to take some accountability, but I do like that they're not allowing the other girls to ruin their friendship and they're trying to work things out. But if I was Nique, I would be careful of what I tell Mulan for a while, because you can't really trust her if everybody's coming to you telling you that she's telling your business. So at the very end of this episode, Danielle is really upset because she ended up having a meeting with her attorney to work out a separation agreement with Rashad, and she said that he made her seem like she's a mean and aggressive person, and he was sharing emails and text messages between the two of them that made her look really bad, and so now they're dealing with a whole custody situation. And because Danielle is going through a lot right now, she tried to reach out to Morgan because she knows that Morgan has experience dealing with the same thing. And so she just wants her friend to be there for her. But Morgan is not answering any of Danielle's calls or her text messages. And so now Danielle is starting to feel some type of way. Now, I personally don't think that Danielle should be taken the way that Morgan is acting personally, because of the fact that Morgan is dealing with a lot as well in her life. So maybe she's just trying to take a step back and focus on herself. But at the same time, she might be ignoring Danielle because she's probably upset that Danielle went to Ashley's event. Who knows? But I do think that the two of them need to have a conversation. Because when you're feeling some type of way about the way that your friend is acting towards you and you don't say anything, resentment builds up and things can get really ugly. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives Orlando. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.